Hey guys, Dantix here, back with some more Cyberpunk 2077 news. I was actually meant to release this a few days ago, but I got caught up playing Wasteland 3. Here we are now though, discussing some more juicy information dropped by CD Projekt Red during some interviews and online. Specifically about German games rating boards having played a complete version of the game a lot already. Ammo drops, gangs, outfits, acid rain, respecking your character rewards and more. So let's get right into it. First, as you may have seen, Cyberpunk stole the show at Gamescom even though it didn't make an appearance, winning Best at Show, Best Role-Playing Game, Best Sony Game, Best PC Game, and the Most Wanted awards, which struck people as odd since they actually didn't show anything. The Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter replied with the following. To be fair, some of the jury members work for the German Age Rating Board. While we don't know what they have voted for, we do know they have played a content complete version of Cyberpunk 2077 a lot. Alright, firstly, a big FU to the German rating board for being able to play this game a lot before any of us. Second, this means that they were so blown away, they just had to throw awards at it, even though it didn't make an appearance. Make of that as you will, but it seems like a positive sign. I still kind of feel for the developers who did the right thing and can't compete with a juggernaut like CD Projekt Red. So Grimpy the Gamer on Twitter asked Amelia, the community manager for CD Projekt Red, why enemies drop little boxes when they die. She responded with, "It's ammunition." Now some of us knew this, most people suspected this, but I thought I'd bring it up as we haven't seen anyone really mentioning it. They kind of fly under the radar as usually ammo pickups are oversaturated, they glow, rotate, or something that makes them stand out. In Cyberpunk 2077, they're just little cardboard boxes taped at the top that can be passed off as trash on the ground. This also confirms that there are no ammo types. There's one universal ammo pickup, and the game won't be about starving you of it like a survival game. It will be plentiful, so don't expect a Fallout-like ammo hunt. So recently there was a Russian interview with Philip Weber, the senior quest designer on Cyberpunk 2077. Let's run through it with the fat cut. First, it's confirmed that you can eat and drink, but you won't be required to as it's not a survival game, like I stated above with the ammo. Instead, eating and drinking will give you special bonuses to your stats. There might also be scenes where you want to eat or drink with a character as well. You can turn on the shower and flush the toilet in your apartment and check yourself out in the mirror. They want you to feel like you can roleplay how you want to. We already know that population density will depend on the weather, time of day, and whereabouts you are in the city. However, it's also confirmed that there will be special story events that will bring out huge crowds. But Philip doesn't want to spoil it for us. We've seen the brain dance where you're Johnny Silverhand, so I imagine it's one of those. Maybe in the story though, it could be some riots, maybe an uprising, maybe another concert. We'll just have to play the game to find out. Philip also mentions that there are quite a few people who accompany you on missions like Jackie does. Some might just be for a drink and drive like Dexter DeShawn, but others will be important like Jackie. He says there are a lot of these people and a few important ones that CD Projekt Red hasn't shown yet. Depending on your choices, they may either like you or they may not. They could be your foes or your allies. It's a role-playing game, so sometimes you might make a friend or a lover, and sometimes you can make an enemy, all based on those choices. Philip confirms that you can't join any of the numerous gangs around Night City. You're a mercenary after all. You can be nice to members though, and they will treat you favorably in other encounters. Some may even become your friends. How you act with the gang influences your story. This is also true with corporations. You're a mercenary, so you won't be joining them on the official payroll, but you can decide how you act with them. You can be friendly, and choosing the corporate lifestyle will give you more options with dealing with them, but you can also, not trust them and look elsewhere. As we know, you can make what would constitute as evil choices. We also know that being a psychopath will be punished by the police coming after you, but it seems they can also put a contract out on you, meaning people would get money for killing you and will start hunting you down. You can also benefit from the contract system though, as if there's some gangster who has a big reward on him, you can take him out and the money will be yours. At the same time, you can play as a good guy and not kill anyone. You'll have to be violent on occasion, but you can knock people out or pacify them with non-lethal rounds. You can use stealth to circumvent areas or use a silver tongue to find peaceful solutions, but in Cyberpunk 2077, a silver tongue is probably a literal thing. He also mentions though that you may think you're making the good choice, but how it plays out could be very different. It's not always a clear-cut right and wrong, this is the good and the bad choice, like it is in, say, Mass Effect with the Paragon and Renegade system. They want you to be always on your toes, so reading people and their intentions will be more important. Yes, as I mentioned in a previous video, NPCs will give off subtle clues to how they feel and how they're going to react. Philip mentions that you won't be able to become as modified as Adam Smasher, who's basically not human anymore. You can be heavily modified with cyberware that gets progressively better, but Adam Smasher needed 50 years to get that far. Pretty much everyone in Night City has some form of cyberware, but it's not the story that they're telling that you lose your humanity in that way. So your gear will offer you stats and effects, but you can choose what outfit you want shown. You'll have a slot for the cosmetic side, so if you get some gear you like the look of, you can use it without fear of using inferior stats. It's not going to be V running around like classic World of Warcraft characters with mishmashed pieces of clothing. The exact details we don't know yet, but it's good that we won't be forced into making our V look like something it's not. It's confirmed that you can redistribute your perks and your attributes. It's unclear how you do this or what it will cost, if there's any cost at all, but they want you to be able to experiment. I actually dislike this quite a lot. I don't like it when RPGs let you swap things out because it puts no permanence on a character. Being able to change who they are and how they develop makes it less exciting to replay the game and try out new builds. It makes it so you can get a high level character and play around with everything the game has to offer. There should be a permanence to choice, or it just feels like save scumming to me. Yes, you can make the wrong choices, but that's half the fun of building a character. Now, I understand that many people will disagree with me here, and that's fine. I'm glad that some people will be getting a system that they like. Moving on, the game will feature dynamic weather systems with a day and night cycle. But since the world has gone to hell in this dystopian future, you have to expect things like storms in the Badlands. It's also said that it can rain acid, though I don't think this will be a common occurrence. Your main source of income is doing jobs for fixers around Night City. V is a mercenary after all, and the more jobs you do, the higher your street cred will climb, and the better jobs you'll be trusted with. However, you can also make money off street races, some fights, and taking down criminals. It's hinted that taking these criminals down non-lethally will net better rewards. As we saw in the trailer, you have cyberware that translates different languages in real time. We saw Jackie talking in Spanish and the translation pop up on your HUD, but apparently there's a lot of different cultures around Night City that speak their native languages, so this feature will help a lot. When you die in Cyberpunk, it's a game over and you'll need to reload a save. That much is consistent. However, if you fail a mission, it's not a reload. You will fail and have to live with the consequences. There are many ways you can make mistakes and fail, but the game doesn't end there. The consequences could echo the rest of the game and change the story. This is incredibly interesting, as I'm sure there'll be people out there doing a must fail all missions run. Also, I'm sure speedrunners will fail missions deliberately to speed the game along and avoid big fights, cutscenes, or what have you. Philip also mentions that since the game is a non-linear title, there will also be many quests that players don't see. But that's a cool thing because it makes them so much more special for the players that do. So that's all the information I could squeeze out of the interview, but let's finish off with one final thing. Recently, the Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Bundle made its way to an Australian outlet, EB Games. You may have seen this bundle at your local stores, but I just want to point out that it's 1,299 Australian dollars for 2 figurines, 3 if you separate V from the bike. The models are a 1:6 scale, which is around 30 centimeters at best estimate. They're cool and the jacket even lights up, but frankly, I wouldn't say that this is value for money, as you don't even get the game included. Maybe though, I've just come to expect too much from CD Projekt Red. So thanks for watching, guys. Like always, do the typical YouTube stuff to help this video along, and keep your eyes peeled to /Dantics for everything you need to know about Cyberpunk 2077 and other RPGs. Ciao, friends.